I'll never forget what I'm about to tell you. I was 23 years old and I had a meeting with a financial advisor. Over the hour I spent with him, he impressed upon me how important, how imperative it was that I start investing into my retirement now, then, with him. And it was clear to me there were a couple of things he needed to know about me first. So, the first thing he needed to know was I was suffering a financial crisis. You might be thinking, 23, you don't know what a financial crisis is. Oh, I did, because I was saddled with tens of thousands of pounds of debt in negative equity in a house that I owned, and I was in the process of being sued by my ex-mother-in-law for a wedding present. To this day, I don't think I ever saw, and I have no idea what it was. Secondly, I was unable to feed myself. Here's a fun fact. At that time, I went to see my mortgage company to explain the plight to them at what I was suffering with. They said, right, let's detail everything. How much do you bring home? And I told them, okay, your mortgage is this much. Can you afford to pay the council tax? Of which I could. I couldn't, however, afford to pay the electric bill, the gas bill, the water bill, or to feed myself, or to put fuel in my car so that I could drive to work. They didn't care. They said, you've clearly stated that you can afford to pay your mortgage, so we can't help you. I remember this so vividly, and I said to the woman I was speaking to, I can't afford to eat. You know what she said? Well, you should have thought about that before now, shouldn't you? So I told him the one key bit of information he needed to know, and that is, I can't afford to feed myself. How the hell do you expect me to invest in my retirement? And I was out of there faster than you can ever imagine, but it sowed a seed of worry, of fear for me, and that is, I'm never, ever going to have enough money to retire. And fear can be debilitating, can't it? It can be dangerous. I'm going to share an example that's non-finance related and something I think men can relate to more than women, I'll be honest. And that's healthcare. Let me know in the comments if you can sympathise with what I tend to do. And that is, I have an ache or pain that I've never had before. I immediately expect the worst. I think everything is going wrong. I know what I should do. What I should do is track that ache and pain over a few days. And if it's not improving or if it's getting worse, seek the attention of a medical professional and get the problem solved. But what I do is try to forget about it and ignore it. And as I do that, the fear just grows and grows. And the worst thing I could ever do, really, is to tell my wife, Sarah, because if I do that, this then becomes a major incident and will become escalated. But you know, it's very rare for the underlying problem to be as great as the fear that you're suffering. But that fear is so debilitating, it means you don't face that problem head on. If this isn't you, what fears do you have that debilitate you? Let me know in the comments. I'll be really interested to know, actually. So coming back to the financial problem, that financial advisor struck fear into the heart of me that I'll never, ever have enough money to afford to retire. So you know what that fear did to me? It became a self-fulfilling prophecy. I thought, well, I'm doomed. If it's that bad, why should I bother doing anything about it ever? And because I did this, when I did finally face the fear, I realised I created a much bigger problem for myself that I need to recover from. And there's a saying which is, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're probably right. And I thought I couldn't. I thought that getting to that stage to actually be able to retire would be as difficult as climbing a mountain wearing clown shoes, holding a lead weight. So what's led me to want to share all of this with you today? Well, firstly, I know that changing your outcomes requires a change in mindset. And in my 20s, I thought the chances of me retiring, let alone retiring early, were infinitely small. And now I'm 4 years into early retirement at the age of 56 now. I had a birthday a week ago, which is a bit depressing. When I look back at my 20s, I find that depressing too, because I can remember exactly how I was feeling. And if there's any way that I can speak to somebody through this video that also has that same mindset of feeling like they're doomed, if I can just help one person, I feel like I'm doing a lot because I remember the pain that I was struggling with, and I don't want you to be struggling with that same pain. And since I've started sharing more of this kind of information in and around retirement and drawdown strategies in our videos, the feedback I've had through the comments has been absolutely incredible. And I really want to thank each and every one of you that takes the time to leave a comment. I know it's not easy, it takes time itself to do that. And also, I get other comments which aren't quite so positive on our videos. Things like, well, I'm screwed then, or well, my plan is I'm going to have as short a life as possible. Or another one, why save dollars when money is losing value every day anyway? And the thing is, I can relate to these. I can see myself in these. That's probably the kind of thing I would have said in my 20s because of fear and because of feeling scared at the future and looking at someone else and thinking, well, yeah, you did it, but I'm not you. I haven't got your capability, and I know that's wrong. If me and Sarah can do what we've done to retire early, then I think many of you can too. I also get another type of comment, which is abusive, where people watch a video that I make where I'm trying to help people to reach their dreams to retire early, and they feel that the best thing they can do is abuse me. What I do with those is I delete them because I don't want to see rubbish like that, and I don't want my viewers to see rubbish like that either. And do you know what? There was a video, this is funny. There's a video I made a few weeks ago where I shared data, not opinion, but data about how much people have saved at different stages of their lives. And this is their total net worth. Total net worth is everything they got in pensions, their savings, their house, everything that has got value. I got, let me just check. Yeah, 1,700 likes on that video, which is incredible. But you know, I also got more than 100 thumbs down. What does that even mean? To give a thumbs down on information that I'm sharing, not opinion or what you think about me. It's just straight information. Well, what I would say for those people is it points to one main word, and that word is fear. But to all those people that give those thumbs down or just feel screwed, I want to get real with you. Funding your retirement is your problem. There is a general feeling or malaise that people suffer where they think, oh, everything will be all right in the end. And you know, if you take control, if you take ownership of this problem, yes, everything will be okay in the end. But if you're looking at your parents or your grandparents and say, well, they don't know about money, they didn't save, and they've retired okay, it's highly likely because they've got a final salary pension, which is something that their employers gave them, which is almost like a Ponzi scheme. And those things have been outlawed. Unless you work in government or something like that, those schemes have gone. It's all down to you now to fund your retirement. I'm going on a bit of a rant here. There is an issue, certainly in the UK, I see around retirement funding, and that is that now your employers are legally responsible for funding your retirement together with you. But that legal responsibility is to put the minimum in. So they put the minimum in, you put the minimum in, and the feeling is, there we go, job done. I can now start planning my next holiday. That isn't likely to give you the kind of retirement that you want. So if you are feeling that the system's rigged against you, that this will never work for you, this is your problem. You've got to get this sorted for yourself. And I want you to take this video as a bit of a wake-up call, a bit like you walking into a doctor's office, going back to my previous analogy, and the doctor saying, well, you do have a serious issue. You can change it by changing your lifestyle, but it's on you. You've got to do that. What are you going to do in that situation? Are you going to ignore the doctor's advice and carry on doing what you're doing? That's how you look at life. It's not going to be a good outcome for you, either health-wise or financially. When I started writing the script for this video, I wanted this to be something totally different. I wanted to talk about some of the financial lies that we're being told that lead us to make the wrong financial decisions, taking us further away from hitting our dream of retirement. But as I started to write it, I felt I've got a duty. I've got a duty to the people that feel that they're lost, and a duty to give them the wake-up call that I had in my late 20s to really grab this issue by the scruff of the neck. If this has helped you, Really pleased to hear that, and I highly recommend you subscribe and ring that bell so you know when more content's coming along, because in the next video I am going to be sharing one of those lies that the news media give us that mean that we do make some of the bad decisions in life, that you can overcome those to get you closer to your retirement goal. If, however, this hasn't helped, if you are still feeling that the cards are stacked against you, I recommend not subscribing. If you're subscribed, unsubscribe, because I don't want to add to your fear. I know what that's like, staying awake at night, every night, scared. Don't want to be adding to that. And to every other viewer of this video, my regular viewers, thank you for watching. And if you've got any friends out there that you think this can relate to, maybe friends at work that you like to talk to about money and they're not listening to you, maybe share this video with them. It might be the wake-up call that they need to take control of their lives. Really appreciate you watching this, my little rant. I'll see you next time.